Hey, Luke here with CatsandCarp.com, and I'm going to show you how to make leads. Make fishing leads and sinkers. I'm going shark fishing down in Florida here in a couple weeks, and I really don't have any good shark fishing leads. It's kind of a specialty lead. I generally like to use 1 to 2 pound leads for off the beach shark fishing, and you can't find that very easily. So I'm going to make some, and I've got loads of scrap lead I need to get rid of, so this is going to work out real well. Now, a lot of you may be saying, I don't do shark fishing, I don't need 1 to 2 pound leads. That's okay. You can use the same principles and just scale it down. Works the same way, okay? So I'll show you kind of little tips to do if you want to use smaller sinkers. But this will work really good for cat fishermen, especially if you do like big river cat fishing and you like 6-8 ounce leads. A lot of what I'm doing works really well for those too. Okay, if you're going to be melting lead, what you need first is you need a bunch of scrap lead. You need something to melt it in. So I'm using this coffee can. You're going to need some molds, and I'm using these muffin tins. A set of heavy duty pliers, some wire coat hangers, and some little pieces of wood in the molding process. I'm using chopsticks. And you're going to need a pocket knife. Okay? You're also going to need a source of heat. I'm using my forge, but you can use a campfire, you can use an electric hot plate. Lead melts pretty low temperatures compared to other metals, so it's a pretty easy metal to melt. I'm using my forge just because I already have it and it's out and I'm going to be using it today anyways. Alright, so let me show you the lead I'm going to be melting down. I've got a bunch of these diving weight belts. They're full of these lead pellets, kind of like birdshot. And I've got these 8-ounce sinkers which I bought, but they're so fat they don't fit on my clasps very well. I don't use them. I've got a couple big old egg sinkers that I've never used. Got some old nasty bank sinkers, which I don't mind if I lose. And then I've got a whole bunch of lead from a cast net, and then some odds and end pieces. And I've got these little guys, and I'm just going to rip the rubber out of here. And you see it's so old it just kind of falls off. Alrighty. So this is a lot of lead. I think I've got pushing over 10 pounds of lead here. And then I've got this coffee can that I'm going to melt everything in. I'm going to melt this all in 2 batches. And I'm going to start with the birdshot because it's all about the same size, so it'll melt evenly. That's what I want. I want everything to melt at the same time. See there, that's quite a bit of lead. That'll do the job. Yeah, this feels like about 8 pounds of lead right here. Okay, now we're going to make the eyelets for the lead. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I've got a section of coat hanger here, and I'm going to just cut that and cut that. Okay, I'm going to take this chopstick like so, and I am going to wrap it around approximately in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to make sure it still slides, and I'm going to twist it once, and then I'm going to bend this, bend that, and you get something just like this. Okay, and you want it to slide on the chopstick just fine. And that's going to be the eyelet that allows us to tie on the lead to our line. So let's do a bunch of these. get some lead melting. Now I've got to watch that pot carefully. If it starts to get any color to it, turn red at all, we got to take it off the flames. We don't want the bottom melting out of that thing. Yeah, it's starting. Slowly starting. A pot of boiling water will boil faster if you put a lid on it, so we're gonna do the same thing. All right, it's been about 15-18 minutes or so. Let's check out and see where we're at. So you can see here we got kind of this crud, this powder on the top, which is all of our dross and impurities, and we got a big pile of lead underneath. So let's see if we can't scoop out all those impurities. Check that out, see? Starting to harden up on me again, so I need to put it back on the fire. But that's looking pretty good. The lid also helps keep ash from getting in your lead as well. So we're going to pour some molten lead into these molds, but remember, anything lighter than lead will float. So these little steel things will kind of float up to the top and get scawampus on you. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour just a little bit in at first, just to cover it, let it harden, and then we're going to pour the rest over, so that way it doesn't float up to the top. Okay, so we've poured the lead in the mold and the steel is starting to get stuck in there. It's starting to get kind of stiff. Once it's pretty solid, we'll go ahead and pour some more lead on top of that and we'll be done. Okay, yeah, that's pretty tough, so we're gonna put some more lead on top of that. Yeah, it's been about 5 minutes and this is pretty cool. So let's pull this out and see how they're doing. Awesome. Now that is a great shark fishing lead. There you go, 8 shark fishing leads. Look at the size of these suckers. That'll keep a 3-pound bonita pinned down to the bottom. These are great. When they drag, they catch the edge like this when your bait gets dragged. So they go in the sand. They dig in pretty good. Well, at any rate, I hope you found this video useful and you learned a little something new. If you're not into shark fishing, you don't need 2-pound leads. Use smaller tins. You can buy the little mini muffin tins, little mini cupcake tins, and those work really well for smaller leads. Those will be about 6 to 8 ounce leads. So if you're catfishing in big rivers and you need some good sized leads, that's a great way to recycle your lead and to have plenty of catfishing leads. If you want something even smaller than that, just take like a piece of 2x10 and drill some holes in it, okay, about the size you want. Do the same thing. So just change the size of the holes, same principle applies. And if you don't want to use coat hangers, you can use those little screw-in eyelets that you can get at the hardware store. And those work really well, especially on the smaller leads. And if you want to see more videos from Catfish and Carp, check out these videos. Check out these videos from the Catfish and Carp YouTube channel, including how to make the ultimate rod holder for bank fishing, and this video from shark fishing off the beach down in Florida from last year. It's a great video, fun video, even if you're not into shark fishing. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to click subscribe. We put out new videos every week.